been standing out in the rain. It was another dark and stormy day here in Southern California. This has been going on for more than a week now, which is a problem, is none of us have more than one rain outfit. We've got one, we wear it, and then that's supposed to be it. But women in LA have been forced to carry their purse dogs around in Ziploc bags this week. It's pouring all night. I don't know if it's ever rained this hard here before, right?
No.
My whole house is leaking. My children are frightened. I'll be honest, I'm frightened. I looked out the window this morning and I told my wife, I think we're gonna die today. Hey, congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs, who absolutely clobbered Texas Christian University last night to win the college football championship for the second year in a row. The game was here in LA, but this was the scene in Athens, Georgia, where fans and presumably students were literally fired up. They set a Christmas tree aflame and then were jumping over it, doing all the dumb things that college kids do. And then this guy, his parents must be very proud. He's going right on Santa's naughty list for this, because that seems unsafe. But it turned out okay. No fatalities. The final score was 65-7, so maybe there was one fatality, but not only does that make Georgia national champions, they also score a win for the unintentional joke of the day today.
With where you guys are standing down there, the Georgia Bulldogs are about to come right in your face.
Well, stand somewhere else then. Now this is crazy. So after all the everything about Donald Trump and the 15 boxes of documents he had scattered around Mar-a-Lago, last night CBS News reported that Joe Biden left a handful of classified documents from when he was vice president in his private office at the University of Pennsylvania. The documents were discovered by his lawyers. They were packing up files. They found these documents. They contacted the National Archives. They reported what they found. There are said to be just under a dozen documents related to Ukraine, Iran, and the UK. And for the MAGA crowd, this was like Christmas and the McRib coming back at the same time.
Fox News alert, Joe Biden, the President of the United States, has allegedly mishandled classified documents.
10 classified documents from Joe Biden's vice presidential days have been discovered in his office.
He had zero authority to declassify those documents or take them with him.
Joe Biden conceivably stole those documents.
The vice president actually has rules to follow as for declassification. That's not true for a president, but anyone less than a president has to follow rules.
That's a serious issue.
What a double standard here. Where's the FBI? They should be battering rams knocking down his door. I mean, were they raiding his home?
So far, no hysteria at all, whatsoever.
Is the Justice Department going to send in the FBI? The FBI's hostage rescue team.
Is he wearing a retainer, or what's going on with his teeth? Anyway, he was very proud of himself. They all were, and of course, Daddy Donnie moved in on this like a bitch too. He posted, "When is the FBI going to raid the many homes of Joe Biden?" It's like his dream come true. And while it's alarming when you realize how much of our national security relies on old men keeping track of loose pages, I really think we need to break this down and be specific about what happened in each case. You know, the day the Biden documents were discovered, the White House counsel's office notified the National Archives. They took possession of them the following morning, which is slightly different from how it went down with Trump, who lied about even having the documents, then refused to give them up. He said they were his, which forced the FBI to come search his wedding venue/house and take them from him. But still, the Republicans aren't entirely wrong about this. We can't have two sets of rules. We can't hold Trump accountable for leaving documents around and not Biden. And I have to say, I think what we need to do, and we need to do it right now, we need to get those two, Joe Biden and Donald Trump, put them in a cell together, have video cameras surveilling live on television 24 hours a day. We get Ryan Seacrest to host it, and then we watch as they either tear each other apart or get along, and then maybe we will stop tearing each other apart and get along too. This could be the thing. It's the only reasonable solution, right, Guillermo?
Right, Jimmy.
Thank you for even paying attention. There needs to be a better system than having these files in a box. You know how they say everything you ever need to know you learned in kindergarten? Well, in this case, you learned it in the 4th grade.
In my old office.
In a shoebox by the golf course.
In a birthday card from Mama. In my butt?
Up his butt?
Where are your classified documents? Keep all your documents organized and safe.
Turn them into kitty litter. Happy birthday, Betsy Ross.
The Presidential Trapper Keeper, only from Meade.
Available at Walgreens.
A simple Trapper Keeper could solve all of these problems. Meanwhile, in Fulton County, Georgia, the special grand jury that's been looking into whether Team Trump interfered with the 2020 election has concluded their investigation. That means a Trump indictment could soon be on the way, even though he continues to insist he did nothing wrong, calling the Georgia Secretary of State on the phone and asking him to find votes to make him win the election. Trump wrote, as has been stated many times concerning the world's longest-running witch hunt, my phone call to Georgia officials were perfect. Perhaps even more so than my perfect call to the president of Ukraine, which led to complete victory on impeachment hoax number one. I like that he brings up the other time he committed a crime against democracy for no reason at all. Just in case you forgot, I've made bigly terrible calls in the past. He continued, even the Washington Post apologized for their incorrect statements. The call of the Secretary of State challenged election integrity or lack thereof, which is my right/duty. Also, many people on the call, and nobody hung up or was offended. No, because they were busy recording you committing multiple crimes over the telephone. They taped the whole thing. A hearing is scheduled for January 24th to determine if the report will be made public. I don't know if why do we need the report? Trump's on tape saying he wants them to find 11,000 votes he didn't get. This is going to be the shortest report ever. Yup, he said that. Go get him. That's the report. I don't know about you. There's so much. I'm exhausted by all these investigations. If I was watching this on Netflix, this would be the point where I skip to the end credits, to the part where they explain that the bad guy's 9 years into a 30-year prison sentence now. And with Trump on the ropes, the right-wing crank channels, they have to find new things to get mad about. Now, this is from Newsmax, where these guys are working around the clock to get Americans mad, in this case, about short people.
The New York Times, the academic leftists, the eco-warriors, they want you to mate with shorter people to save the planet by shrinking the needs of subsequent generations. I'm not kidding. The left wants you to hook up with little people to fight climate change. Leave your wife, leave your husband, and find a tiny person.
Well, this is good news for you, Guillermo, by the way. The left wants you to have a baby with a dwarf, and that's not all they're up to.
These really, really anti-milk, pro-soy, anti-beef eating liberals want you to mate with potential psychopaths. Literally, little madmen. So it got me thinking, some of the most violent, disturbing, and even annoying people in history were actually quite short. Hillary Clinton, 5'6", you know her deal.
Yeah. Well, you can't argue with science. It's right there on the chart. Some graphic. Hillary, Mussolini, Hervé Villechaize, Kevin Hart, they're all up to no good. You know, Prince Harry's royal memoir came out today, and it is a tell-all to the most extreme degree. Harry covers his mother, his stepmother, his brother, sister-in-law, especially his father, the king, who Harry says carried what he described as a pitiful teddy bear everywhere he go. He still carries it. His teddy bear is something Charles has had since his traumatic days in boarding school, where he was bullied, probably for carrying a teddy bear. But who knows? It's almost like having everything handed to you for your whole life makes you weird. Not only was the hardcover released today, the audiobook also came out, so you can hear the whole teddy bear story straight from the prince's mouth.
My primary perception of Pa's Teddy was one of grudging resentment. It was widely understood that Frizzy Bobble was third in line for the crown. I detested that woolly little wanker, his itty-bitty booties and dead black eyes. I resolved myself to behead Lord Cuddlebuster at once. On Boxing Day, while Papa was fussing over his Pippin and Fizz, I seized the shaggy scoundrel and cried, "Prepare, little bear, to be unstuffed." I clawed and scratched until my pantaloons were soggy bottoms, and the creature's vile little head popped off. "Not so snugly now, you manky wee tosser." Pa cried that night and had none there to cuddle him.
Well, that's it really makes you feel some empathy for all of them. Over in England, the whole country is mad at Harry. The tabloids stopped this Royal Circus, Harry, Regenstein, you sold your soul. And then I tell you, these British tabloids, they're something else. They do everything they can to dig and sneak and violate every crevice of that palace to get any little morsel of royal gossip they can. And then the prince puts it all in the book, and they're furious. He's betrayed the crown. I mentioned an excerpt from the book last week where Prince Harry wrote about having frostbite on his penis, which he calls a todger, which is weird because I call my penis Prince Harry, but it's over there it's called a todger, and all this todger talk got us thinking about men having pet names for their private parts. So we took those thoughts out onto Hollywood Boulevard to ask men walking by our studio, what is your nickname for your penis? And we're going to make a game out of this. We'll see a man introduce himself, and then as a group, we'll try to guess what he calls his penis, okay? Format's multiple choice. Let's meet our first pedestrian.
My name is Tim. I'm a Kiwi, and I'm from New Zealand.
Tim, do you have a nickname for your penis?
Oh, for my penis. Okay, a nickname. I like to go by...
All right, is Tim's penis named A, Buzz Lightyear, B, Mr. Incredible, C, Erected Ralph, D, Ratatouille? Yeah, audience? A lot of D's. Let's find out.
Ratatouille.
And why Ratatouille?
For me, it's all about texture and it's all about taste, right? The two things that the Ratatouille embodies. So for me, that's where the nickname comes from.
All right, well, very well thought out, Tim. Who do we have next?
Lacumba Wallace, Akron, Ohio.
Lacumba, do you have a nickname for your penis?
Yes.
What is it? All right.
Is this gentleman's name Moby Dick, Captain Ahab, Hook, or Long John Silver? Who really cares what the answer is? Let's find out.
Hook, but I didn't do that. Someone else named it. Hook.
Is it curved to the right?
No, straight, actually.
Well, then that makes no sense. Is it a tribute to Dustin Hoffman? Why would that... Our next contestant is?
Josh Reed, Azle, Texas.
Do you have a nickname for your penis?
As a matter of fact, I do.
And what is it?
All right, does this proud TCU fan call his fella Pistol Pete, Old Willie, Lone Star, or Longhorn? All right, again, we're mixed, and its nickname is?
Old Willie.
Why is that?
Because it's little, it's nasty, and it's ugly.
His honesty is refreshing. Next we have?
Dominique, Los Angeles, California.
Do you have a nickname for your penis?
Yeah, I do.
And what is it?
All right, what is Dominique's? Iron Giant, Sorcerer's Bone, Jumanji, or Flubber? All right, we got a lot of C's. Take it away, Dominique.
Jumanji.
Jumanji?
Yeah.
Can you spell that?
J-U-M, Manji.
Right, J-U-M, Manji. All right. And finally...
I'm Francisco. I'm from Bakersfield, California.
Francisco, do you have a nickname for your penis?
I do not, but my girlfriend does in fact have one.
Okay, and what is it?
All right, what does Francisco's girlfriend call it? Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, or the Hulk? Guillermo says the Hulk. Survey says?
She calls it the Hulk.
Is it because you smashed?
Yep.
And also because it's green. It's always the quiet ones, you know?